with the 16-year-old countless times when he went down there and tried to help Jordan out of the closet. Tammy's brother and her son had contacted me, and they were gonna try to literally go downstairs while they were asleep and pull him out of the closet and drive over to our house.
Did he actually mention the closet?
Oh yes. I mean, the babysitter told me that the day that because her and Tammy had been friends for about 8 or 9 years. And I mean, she told me she was at their house and Brad had to go to the store and Tammy wanted Brad to take Jordan with him. So he went to the closet, and at that time, Jordan had been drugged. He was very woozy. Brad grabbed him by his shoulders and picked him up and put him on his feet. And then he said, "Come on," and Jordan didn't step right away, and so he grabbed him by the back of his head and slammed his face into the wall. And the babysitter told me that right then, she called CPS.
What's your understanding about how long he would be in that closet at a time?
They left him in there, I mean, all day, all night. They would open it every so often to, I guess, make sure that he was still alive.
Coming up.
When we come back, we're going inside this house, inside the closet, and inside the crawl space where this little boy was allegedly held.
We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive, The Boy Under the Stairs.
This is a 5-year-old little boy. First, let me just tell you, he's alive, okay? He lived through a miracle. His bones are literally sticking out of his skin.
Police say his dad and stepmom kept him hidden away in a tiny closet under the stairs in the family's Houston area home.
Attorneys for Jordan's stepmother, Tammy Blymeyer, allowed us inside the house where police say the little boy was locked up inside a closet under the stairs. Now, I want you to watch for anything that might seem strange. Does the home appear to have been cleaned up? Tammy's attorney, Julie Ketterman, took us on the tour. Take a look.
This is Tammy's house.
Who all lives here?
She lives here with her 6 children, and then Brad moved in with Jordan when they got married 2+ years ago. She's pregnant with their 7th. So over to the left, we have the 16-year-old's bedroom.
Okay, it looks like we're under construction here.
It's just an older house. In here, this is the actual room that Jordan shared with his stepbrother.
So the 2 boys slept in here.
Right. This is them. And if you ask the 5-year-old sister, she says the same thing. This is where he slept.
Has this room been painted since the allegations have been made?
No.
Because it's still masked off.
Not.
And if
Not
2
that I
little
know.
boys lived in here, it looks awfully pristine if 2 little boys lived in here.
If it has not. I don't know anything about it. And then the last room we have is the girls' rooms.
So how many in here?
2. They're out of room up here. That's why Tammy sleeps downstairs.
Gotcha. Well, shall we
Head
go
downstairs.
downstairs?
Sure. This is the closet.
Okay.
Now what's interesting about it is if you open it, and I'm probably gonna, it's actually off the hinge. And you may have to do it.
All right, let me see. if
But
I
it's
can
off this
shot.
hinge, and it's been that way for quite a while. It comes open.
Okay, got it. I got it.
And then if you go back here,
Let me help you with it. How long have these clothes been in
they
here?
stay here. But back here, if you move all of the stuff, which is why it's just ridiculous that the 16-year-old says that this is where he stayed, there's baby clothes and baby items.
All right, so this is the stairway because it's slanted there.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what, maybe 4 by
Right.
3?
What the 16-year-old was saying is that Jordan actually had to stay in that room.
Back in here.
Right. And as you can see, not possible. And these are all the one-year-olds, because this is where, it's basically her closet. And I think you can see the plastic drawers where all of her stuff is.
So for her to get to her one-year-old's stuff, she went under a solid row of clothes, got down on her knees, opened this, and got stuff up for a
When
one-year-old?
you have 6 kids, you do what you can. I can show you also, I mean, this is where some of her kids' shoes are. She keeps her shoes in the living room over there and her clothes in a closet upstairs.
So Tammy's position that this child was never kept in this closet?
Never kept in the closet.
Never punished by being put in this closet?
Never punished by being put in the
Was
closet.
never in here, never in this cubbyhole crawl space.
It didn't happen.
Now, Tammy's attorneys insisted that her home had not been altered in any way. But I have to say, it appeared the bedroom Jordan's stepmother claims he slept in had been freshly painted. I saw paint rollers outside in the yard that were stained the same color as the walls inside. The home seemed like it had been thoroughly cleaned. Not a single thing was out of place. Yet an odor that smelled to me like, I don't know, cigarettes and urine hung in the air. Just my opinion. Coming up, the stepmother's side of the story.
Coming up,
The 16-year-old reports that that fight was over letting him out of this closet.
And it wasn't.
So he's lying.
He,
The
absolutely.
16-year-old's lying.
Absolutely.
How did this happen?
and later,
I feel like I should have gotten a gun and went over there and kicked that door in.
Do you feel like you failed him?
tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. Are they adopting newborn twins,
I just want to hold my babies for the first time.
or are they victims
Is she ever going to touch those babies?
of a scam?
Say something.
That's tomorrow. We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive, The Boy Under the Stairs.
Attorneys Julie Ketterman and James Heddleston are representing Tammy in a custody battle for her children. They say she's done nothing wrong and her children should be returned to her. We're sitting right now in front of the closet, alleged to have been the prison of this young child. True?
This is it.
Is this house staged for this interview?
Absolutely not. We have pictures before we even got your phone call of the house looking like this.
As I understand it, the allegations are that this child was kept in here, was not fed other than just bread and water. How did we get in this situation? How did this happen?
The child's definitely been neglected. It's obvious in the photographs. And the father needs to answer some serious questions about why he looks like that. The issue is, though, he hasn't been in this household. And the news has heard mom say, I haven't seen him without his shirt on. Well, the 20th of March, when she saw him, he came over wearing a black hoodie, and she didn't recognize that he looked that way. He's always been kind of a skinny kid, she says.
So there was a fight here between the 16-year-old and Brad.
Yes.
The 16-year-old reports that that fight was over letting him out of this closet.
And it wasn't.
So he's lying.
He
The
absolutely.
16-year-old's lying.
He is.
Absolutely.
Is the 14-year-old lying too?
Absolutely. Neither one of them have liked Brad since the day they got married, and they have been trying to get rid of Brad. So that was the issue. That's what the fight was.
When CPS had come here previously
Yes.
and asked to come in the house, did Tammy deny them access?
That's their allegation.
That's their allegation. I can tell you that CPS has been involved in this investigation since January. She's told them everything she knows.
What's she doing in this motel?
She was going to pick up the divorce papers.
Well, these are the pictures that were taken the day he was
Correct.
taken, that day.
This child has been abused and neglected, absolutely, but not by Tammy. I can show you pictures in February where he looked fine. This is Jordan.
That's that table right there.
It's that table right there where they were all eating. This is him in February. And this is him. This is actually one of the days that she met with CPS at the school.
Do you believe your client should be charged right now?
Absolutely not.
But she was charged.
What they're alleging is that she didn't do this, but that basically she turned a blind eye and didn't stop it. That's what the allegation is. But I believe once they get the full picture and understand that this child hadn't even been in this home. And even the CPS reports say that when they saw Jordan in February, he had no marks, no bruises, nothing.
Okay, and then it was then that he left here?
Correct.
Brad took him and left back to Alabama?
Back to Alabama.
CPS came to this house on the 27th of March. Okay, so she saw Jordan on the 27th.
Correct.
Why didn't she report it?
She didn't see anything. He had a black hoodie on. She didn't see
She saw him
anything.
in this condition.
No.
She's saying that the way that he was dressed and wearing a black hoodie, and he's always been a very skinny kiddo, but certainly she said she didn't see him with his shirt off that day. The photograph that you have there, she said she saw for the first time this past Tuesday.
My question is, if she saw this child, and she didn't seem like this.
No, she saw him with blue jeans
She
and a
saw him
hoodie
with
with the hood on.
baggy
Right.
I dealt with a lot of anorexics. I
Right.
know you can hide with bulky clothes. And
Sure.
I have had discussions with Houston law enforcement, and this child was on death's door. This was a malnourished child
Absolutely.
that was on the brink of organ shutdown.
Absolutely.
And a mother of 6 kids, I don't see how you miss
Well,
that.
you just said that you've seen anorexics
I
and they
have.
know how to dress. If this dad was doing this to him, which we believe he was, don't you think he's going to dress him in a way that he can take him out in public and nobody's going to get suspicious? And here's what everybody needs to understand. The 2 people who are making these allegations are the 2 people that cannot stand Brad the most. One being a 16-year-old boy who's bipolar and not taking his medication. You talk to the other 5-year-old and the other child that don't have the motivation to lie, and they say, well, yeah, he slept in the room with the brother, and yeah, he played with me all the time, and yeah, he ate with us when we ate.
So if it turns out that Jordan was not in Alabama but was here
Correct.
in this house between that time, then your client has a problem.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We'll see how it shakes out. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you.
Julie,
Thank you.
We, of course, reached out to Jordan's father, Bradley Blymeyer, who is currently in jail, as well as his attorney. They both declined to comment. Now, Tammy's attorney gave us this traffic ticket to back up their claim that Bradley left town and took his son to Alabama. The ticket puts Bradley in Alabama on January 23rd, 2014. They also provided us with medical records from March 2013. Jordan was apparently sick with a sore throat, but doctors noted he was an otherwise healthy boy who had a good appetite.
Coming up,
I should have gotten a gun and went over there and kicked that door in. But I knew I had to do things the right way because there was no way I would be able to fight for him if I was behind bars.
we now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive, The Boy Under the Stairs.
How are you doing?
Honestly, I haven't stopped to think about myself. I've been so concerned with him. I mean, what I went through is nothing compared to what that little boy went through.
Do you feel like you failed him?
I did. I felt like I should have gotten a gun and went over there and kicked that door in. But I knew I had to do things the right way because there was no way I would be able to fight for him if I was behind bars.
If, in fact, they were neglecting, abusing, failing to feed, protect, and nurture this child, if